Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pluto actually finally moving into Aquarius. And this is going to be a massive shift for real. We've gotten little hints of it, little hits of it for a few months and a few months and a few months for a bit now, all the way from the beginning of 2023. We've had little tiny windows of it. So if you've noticed, there have been some positive shifts or movement in a direction, and then it felt like it wasn't as fast or the momentum wasn't as big. And then things kind of drifted back to normal, and then you felt the energy rising up again. Chances are you felt a bit of this. I've felt it dramatically. Every time Pluto was in Aquarius, my life was just on the biggest high, and then it was just like kind of evened out. And I was like, where's that energy? And I was like, you know what? Maybe this is Pluto in Aquarius. So Pluto, the planet of transformation, is moving into Aquarius. Innovation in the biggest way, November 19th. And it's going to stay there all the way through March 8th of 2043. And we'll do bigger videos about this in different significant times throughout this unraveling, because it's going to be basically almost 20 years. And this is evolutionary, revolutionary, positive change. And if you've been feeling now is the time, if you've been feeling like the way I've been operating is not going to work anymore, lean into it. It's like a software upgrade for everyone. And the thing is, not everyone is open to the change. Not everyone will be like, yes, let's do it. Some people, lots of us, resist change, especially when it's profound change. Now, Pluto kind of hits us all in different ways, in different spurts. And Pluto also, it's slow. It's not going to all happen like a big unraveling, but there are times where Pluto's more active for you that you may feel this, or you may have a period of huge growth or huge change. But for everyone, it's really important to realize the stars, the planets don't do things to us. It's like windows of potential energy. It's like new universal shifts. It's almost like changing the radio dial. That's how I like to think about these big shifts in astrology, because if you look at them throughout your own life, think about your life from 2008 to now. How has it changed? That was one cycle of Pluto. Think about it like having the radio on a certain station. And when the radio is on a station, you get a certain frequency, you get a certain broadcast. And now the radio is switching. So even though the radio's on and it's broadcasting something, you don't have to listen to it. You don't have to pay attention to it. You certainly don't have to enjoy it. You don't have to even notice it's there. You could tune it out. It's just in the background. But it's in the background having some sort of like a buzzing effect, right? Whether it's harmonious for you or not. Now the radio station's turning to a new frequency. And the last one, Pluto being in Capricorn, was much more structural, much more challenging of systems, like breaking down systems. Think about it, 2008, all the things that happened, breaking down old systems, forming new systems, causing us to think in new ways, to live in new ways, to prosper in new ways. And now we're moving into Aquarius, where it's about technological revolution. It's about evolutionary change. It's about living without limits, living with infinite freedom. And we're going to look at these themes and some things that you can start assessing for yourself. Where can I focus my energy? How can I make the most of this? And it's going to affect all of us differently. We all have different astrological charts, but it also just affects you differently, because sometimes you're really tuned into the radio station playing in the background and sometimes you're not. But these themes of thriving, these themes of freedom, of self-actualization, of being unlimited are so aligned with the specific Feng Shui that we do, unlike anything else in the world, that it is well worth diving in. And we're going to talk about taking advantage of all this energy. So consider this an overview to get you ready, to get you excited, because it is going to just be endless growth and expansion and possibility and greatness. So let's begin. Your freedom and your self-expression are center stage. This is your main character energy. You're shining brighter than ever before. You're being in the spotlight. And if you've been shirking from the spotlight, or you've been kind of letting go of certain things, thinking, oh, it's not that important if I'm really dressed up. Oh, it's not that important if I do this. Oh, it's not really important that I get seen. I want to kind of hide out in the background. No, this is the time where you realize I can get spotlight on me, and so can everyone else. Everyone else can shine at the same time. And this is a really beautiful thing because Pluto in Aquarius is about self-actualization, but also universal actualization. So it's me and we, both equally important. And the more you are focused on your me, on yourself, the more you can contribute to the we. And the more you can receive from the we. It's like this beautiful way of saying, as I change, the world changes with me. And so your style is one of the ways that you can express yourself. Your speech is one of the ways where you can express yourself. And so how can you speak up more freely? How can you be more you? If you've been afraid of being judged for views that you have, if you've been afraid of speaking up because you don't want to rock the boat or you don't want to harm someone, say the truth. And if you can't say it yet out loud, write it down, write it in journals, get it out of your system. You want to stay expressive. You don't want to hide who you are. And when it comes to outward style, now is the time to start thinking about being your style, getting into your style, how you dress, your style, how you live your life. I've been getting into all new recipes. I got a new dog, Clifford, who's under the desk, and I'm cooking for him. And I'm just taking this whole experience as something new, not as a continuation of what once was. What once was magical and beautiful, and I wish it could last forever. I love both of my dogs, are my soulmates, and I wish they could be here forever. And now that I've had to switch into this new cycle and Clifford arrived, I'm like, you know what? I want to do this different. I want to do this different. I want to honor all that I've learned. I feel like I'm being guided by the past and by Bob and Gordy, my old dogs, to bring Clifford a happier, healthier, better life in a new way that's better for all of us. And it's just beautiful to see. And it's an allowing. And so the new doesn't happen unless we allow it. So I want you to think about how you can allow it. And a big way to allow it is to start decluttering. Declutter your whole life. This is the season of decluttering every year in our Feng Shui universe. And so think about what clutter you've had hanging around. Clutter in your home, clutter of unfinished projects. There's usually a mirror up on that wall, and I haven't been able to get it hung. And in the middle of doing 5 things today, found an art installer to get it up on the wall. I'm like, there is no more waiting. We have to declutter the unfinished projects, declutter the things that have been waiting, declutter the junk so that you can fully thrive. Your ability to express yourself, your ability to be completely creatively free has a lot to do with being unburdened, unfettered, just sort of shaking off the old and allowing this new to come in. So how can you style your home in new ways? Maybe you can get new centerpieces. Maybe you can get new curtains. How can you style new pillows? Think about new style. What would be some new style, new bedding that you would want to see? And not even getting anything new, can you free yourself, start freeing yourself from clutter? As I didn't say, but pointed out, the free Feng Shui decluttering class, it kicks off everything. It starts in December. You can get on the wait list now in the description box or above, depending on where you're watching this. And you can start the minute it arrives, and it will take you through fresh, energizing, fresh clearing, fresh everything. This is what it's all about. Your intuition is in the spotlight. Developing trust in your intuition is going to take you so far. No one just, I guess some people do, but not anyone I know. There's no intuitive I know who's very tuned in to their intuition and very certain about what they're seeing and hearing that just instantly got that way. You have to develop a trust in your intuition. You have to develop a trust in yourself. And if things have happened in the past or even in this last cycle of Pluto since 2008, where you've come to not trust your judgment when it comes to relationships or when it comes to money or when it comes to creativity or when it comes to your friendships, if you've been kind of wobbly because you maybe something happened or an issue arose and you made a choice and maybe it wasn't the best choice, you don't trust yourself anymore. Now you're getting more and more further divorced from your power. And so to reclaim your power, part of that is reclaiming this trust in you, this trust in yourself. And you can do this in small ways every day. One of the best ways that you can reclaim trust in yourself and your intuition is to do small intuitive practices. Like, I am going to intuitively decide, rather than trying to plan my meals in my head, I'm going to intuitively decide what I want to eat. I'm going to intuitively decide which way I'm going to drive to work every day. I'm not going to plan it in advance. I'm going to feel it out and I'm going to act accordingly. And you will start to learn to trust that your feeling is important, that it's not about your mind anymore. So one of the unique things about this Feng Shui is that when you work with your environment, you're working with yourself because your environment is a mirror of you. And so you start to externalize things that have been in your head that you can't quite reach, blocks and problems and stuckness and all sorts of things. You can actually deal with it in your physical environment, and it will help you to transform on the inside. And why this is so important is because we overly rely often on our mind to think and think and overthink and overthink. And if you're an overthinker, you are not alone. And so if you've been overthinking your way into analysis paralysis, where you're thinking so much you can't make a choice, or if you've been thinking so much that now you're in a place where you're like, I don't know what to believe, that's a time to step back and say, I need to fully embody my life. Clean your house. Start decluttering. Again, use your environment to get yourself back fully in your body so that you can feel your way to the next best choices. I'm not saying your mind doesn't matter, but I'm saying mind gets overemphasized when your full energy is so important. Your full energy is so incredibly important. I hope that makes sense and resonates for you. And this can switch a lot of things in your life because intuitively, this is how you reach higher levels. So again, grab the free decluttering class, get on the wait list. We're going to start in December and it's going to be epic. Now, another thing that's going to happen, chances are very high, in the next 20 years is that we're going to be in the biggest technological boom of our lifetime ever. We already see that. You may feel it. There are cars picking up people and driving them around Los Angeles right in front of my eyes, right beside me on the road with no driver. Self-driving cars are here. They're here, like literally in my town. And when I first saw them being piloted and driven around, I was scared. Like I got like my feet almost felt wobbly seeing them. I was like, I feel like I'm going to faint. This is crazy. Like it felt like I was in a movie, like I was seeing something that wasn't real, watching this car just drive down the road with no one in it. And now I'm kind of used to it because they're on the road and I've been behind them and beside them and they have passengers now. And it's kind of wild to lean into this a little bit. Now, do I think that all of our technological advances are going to be for the greater good? No. Do I think that a lot of them will be or could be? Yes. And it's time to use technology to make your life better. So if you've been telling yourself, I'm just not into technology, or it's gone too far, or I don't want to be a part of this, or I, divorce myself from it. Free will is very important. And if it's true for you, follow that. But if you've just been hesitant because you don't understand certain things, or you're not quite sure how you can use it to your advantage, now is the time to start exploring and being open to ways that you can use technology to your advantage. I mean, imagine if you didn't have to do a lot of busy work and it was done for you, so you had more freedom to be creative and be with your friends and be with your family. The thing that can never be replaced, I know people say it can, but I do not think that human beings' creativity and sense of empathy and heartfelt human connection and all of the power within that could ever be replicated by any machine, no matter how intelligent it is. So being fully embodied with all your energy, all your power, that is such a superpower in the age that we are entering in right now. And it is going to just keep zooming forward. Think about ways right now. Can I use technology to schedule things better? Can I use technology to automate certain things in my life so I don't have to constantly remember or be bothered to do this busy work? Can I use technology to plan in different ways? There are so many apps, like just using technology to edit photos better is like such a game changer. Using technology to make things move a little bit more swiftly and more clearly. This is all really positive. It's never going to replace you. I don't care what anyone says. I will stick to that. We're not being replaced. However, to make yourself even more irreplaceable, really expand this, your freedom, your self-expression, being who you are, and allowing yourself to shine and really actualize your fullest potential. Now, dream bigger, take bigger action. If you've been around for a while, you might have heard me say, my new motto is, if not now, when? If I don't do it now, when am I going to do it? If I keep aiming in this realistic range, when am I going to get to where I should be? Really? Why do I keep bemoaning certain things that haven't happened yet? Why don't I make them happen? Dream bigger. A lot of times you're not making things happen, and it sounds like a cliche because they're just not what you really want. We don't get excited about goals that we're settling for. Think about it. When you're settling for something, are you like, gee, I can't wait to get this thing that I'm kind of like not that excited about? No. But if you were aiming high enough, even if you don't get to where you're aiming, you're going to be so much more excited to work to get there, to really push, to use all of your power to make it happen. You're not going to summon the forces of the universe for something you are settling for. So think about all the ways you might be settling. Think about all the ways you might be holding yourself back, and say, I don't care about what people think is realistic. I don't care about what's happened before. Now is the time to dream bigger, dream bigger, dream bigger, and then take bigger action without settling. You can do this. In fact, you can do it with so much ease. So set some dreams that are really big on paper. If you have things that are not moving forward, step up, aim higher, aim for more, and start watching what happens as you clear clutter, as you start expressing your style more, as you make some upgrades in your environment, which is a reflection of you. And hopefully, as you zoom into years of Feng Shui ahead, because that's what this is going to be all about, creativity, environment, and massive, massive joy and pleasure and abundance. And there's infinite possibilities becoming real. And if you're ready to step into it, I am so excited. This is a time to revitalize, to live in harmony with nature a lot more. When everything's becoming very technological, again, our creativity is at a premium. Our humanity is at a premium. Live in harmony with nature. Live in harmony with the people around you. Instead of differences, see your similarities. Instead of argumentative behavior, choose the love and spend more time in nature, and you will thrive so much more. And this year, we're going to be doing a lot with the moons. We're going to be doing a lot with astrology. And if you have not yet signed up for the free moon notes, you can find them in the description box, or just leave the word moon notes below and I'll send you a link to sign up. I don't know if it's in the description box or not, but I want to make sure you get them because we're going to expand upon that this year, living in harmony with nature, with the stars, the planets, with the moon. I'll be back very soon with the full moon feng shui, but this video is sort of the kickoff of what is our major cycle that's going to change the world, because every cycle of Pluto changes the world, and in the end changes the world for the better. So no matter where you're at or what your thoughts are about what's going on in the world, it is going to be better, says history. And so I can only look to the past cycles to imagine, and I feel it, and maybe you feel it too. This is a time for things to start booming in all ways. And so I am there. I'm going to just check the comments. Yes, it's so important. No matter what you've lost in the past, you can start fresh in the future and feel guided, I think, by the past. Yeah. I can't help but think when I saw a passenger in a robot-driven taxi get locked in and take them where they don't want to go, I think about that all the time. I talk about that every day. Every single time I see someone getting into a self-driving car, I have those thoughts. I have all kinds of thoughts. I'm not ready to get into self-driving cars yet myself. However, it is becoming more normalized for me. I am no longer thinking it's strange. I'm no longer scared to drive next to them. So who knows? Things are definitely changing, and we all have to, again, follow our intuition and keep steering ourselves onto the best path forward. Some of us may not choose to lean into the giant waves of change and get into everything that's happening that's new. However, Pluto in Aquarius doesn't just kind of make it happen to you. You make it happen for you. And you just tune into that energy and run with it. So here's to a big revolution, evolution, bigger dreaming than ever before, and so much more to come. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do, because there is so much more to come. I'm even going to be doing the podcast on YouTube now, which is so thrilling. And lots of incredible guests are starting to fill up my recording. So it is coming. And I just can't wait to share everything with you. And I'm wishing you so much love, so much abundance, so much joy. And I will see you soon. Bye, everyone.